Hello everyone, this is Debbie from Ink and Page, and I'm here today with a new Junk Journal July video. This is for the prompt Dark, which is day 20. You can believe it, we're here. We're about to embark on our last 11 days here with this row. I hope you guys have been enjoying this project. If you have, I would very much appreciate it if you would hit the like button on this video. It helps increase the video's reach, and then more people can find it and more people can craft with us. And additionally, if you would like to get the printables that I'm going to use in this video, just go ahead in the description and find the link that says, sign up here. Click that, enter your email, and you'll get access to all of the printables for this project that have been released, and then you'll get the new ones as well. And in addition, all the links for all the printables are in every email. So if you're missing something, just go ahead and look through there and, figure out which one you don't have, okay? And they're listed in descending order. So the newest is first, and then the oldest is last. Okay, so for today, this is what we're going to do. I had originally thought that I would leave this is the center of my third signature. I had originally thought I would leave this blank, but I was thinking about dark, and I was kind of looking through my journal, and I was like, what am I going to do for this one? And I thought, this is a really good page for dark. So here's what I came up with. I'm going to put this guy up here just for a second. We're going to do a bunch of gluing in there in just a second. Okay, so I have printed a second one of these, which is the same sheet on the cover, because this is what I'm aiming to create in the book. This is my base. I'm going to decorate this, but this is the base piece. I already mocked it out, just so that I could figure out how to do it. I kind of was thinking, how could I take this image that I want to keep and but enhance it? So I thought maybe a little bit of a modified, stained glass type of situation would work. And then I thought I would write the quotes that I liked in the stained glass pieces. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I did this in a second. In order to do this, I used a Uniball Signo white gel pen to write on the paint. Okay, so I'm going to probably do this in a more complicated way than needs to be done, and it may not look exactly like this, but it's going to be pretty similar. Okay, so the way that this works is I cut up this paper into panels and into lines, and then I painted parts of it. Okay, so I'm going to go through and show you that. The first thing that I'm going to do, though, is glue book pages down on top of what's in here already. And I know this probably is not 100% necessary to do, but I wanted to create a foundation. And when I was doing making the mock-up of what I was going to do, I want the text to show through the paint. So I'm going to do the paint a little bit lighter than I did here, because I was experimenting with a bunch of different options for this border when I was doing it. So this side definitely got really, really dark. But this side got a little bit more what I was looking for. So, okay. So here's what we're going to do here. So I'm going to take off my little bands here, and I'm going to go ahead and glue my book pages down. Now, I just decided it would be easier to glue them down across the whole thing so that it would be one level surface. You know what I mean? There wouldn't be any real bumps or anything on the page. So I have my book pages here. I already ripped them down. I hope I have enough. Let's see, they're all stuck together. And I'm just going to use a glue stick on these guys to stick them down, because it really does do a good job. It's crazy how thin these pages are. So I have my glue stick here, and I have my scrap paper here from my painting earlier. And I'm just gonna glue all these pages down on here. And then we'll go ahead and cut up the main image. I'm just going to try to get this as close to the edge as I can. I'm just going to grab my bone folder here and just go over this just really quick. And then I'm going to do the other side, and then I'll do the center one. This is right in the middle of my signature, so it's kind of ideal for what I'm going to do here. It would be a little bit harder to do this on a non-center signature, because it would be two separate pieces of paper, if that makes sense. Whereas this is just all one piece of paper that I'm using. All right, so now I have this one that's going to have to go here. So I'm going to go ahead and pre-fold this in the middle so that it already has a fold in it, so that when I put it in, it won't, like, you know, it won't have like a buckle or anything trying to fold with the glue on it. Okay, so I'm just going to put glue on this side. And glue on the other side. I'll put it down first on one and then second on the other. Don't press too hard on this part right here, because I learned that the hard way. You will put a hole in it, so you just kind of have to be really gentle right there. I'm going to try really hard not to rip it, because I have ripped these in the past. Okay, so basically now I need to just go across here. So I'm going to just probably rip this into thirds, I think, or approximate thirds, because I think that should do it. To get like good coverage on there. I'm super excited about this because you guys know I like to do collage, so this is like kind of like my wheelhouse right here. It's just so fun and enjoyable. I had so much fun like figuring it all out and, you know, getting all the things sorted out. Plus I got to use paint, which, you know, I love paint, so. And ironically, I'm going to use this paint here. It's called English Ivy Green, and it's Apple Barrel, my favorite cheap brand. The weird thing is that I did not order that paint. I ordered a different color, and that's the one that Amazon sent me. And it's the perfect color for what I needed for this spread. So I guess the universe knows better than me what I need. So I guess I need to trust it a little bit more. I was a little mad at it yesterday, you know, because I had my video fiasco, but in the end, I think I ended up with a great video. And I also ended up with two great spreads that I really, really like. So I guess that's what was supposed to happen. Okay. And overall, I mean, I love making videos. I love doing the crafting part. I don't love the editing part, but, you know, you have to take, you know, you can't just take the good parts. So I think as I learn to be a better editor, I think I will like it more. Because I love Photoshop, you know. So I'm sure it'll be just like one of those things, like a learning curve. Okay. All right, so now I have all of this down on here, just like that. Okay, so now my next thing to do is going to be to cut this up, okay? Now, the first thing I'm gonna do is take off 1/4 inch all the way around, okay? Now, I printed this borderless. If you wanted to do this idea, you could not print it borderless, and then all you would have to do is take off the white part, you know? So, but that's my default setting, because I never remember to change it if I take it off of that. So I always leave it on borderless. Okay. But in this particular case, if your printer doesn't print borderless, you're probably in a better situation, because you'll get the whole image, whereas I'm trimming off like some of mine. Okay, so taking off 1/4 inch all the way around here. Okay. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do here is fold this in half. Okay, so now I've got this folded in half. Okay, now I'm gonna put this on here really quickly and use I'm gonna kind of try to center it, you know. You're gonna have varying degrees of success on that. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to trace this on here. The reason I'm going to do this is because when I go to put the pieces on later, it's helpful to have a guide on where to put the pieces. Because like before I had a little bit of trouble because I wanted to get them centered on the page, but when everything's cut up into little pieces, or big pieces in this case, it's a little bit harder. So I just need like a bit of a guide on where to put them. Did I get a line there? I don't think I did. This side is my challenging side because it's the side that has all the bulk on it. What I should do is work one page in each signature so it's even throughout the journal as I go. Okay, so now I have a little bit of, I just pulled off a little bit of that by accident, but that's okay because it'll go right back on top of it. Okay. All right, so now the next thing that I'm going to do here, I'm going to put that there, is turn this over. And I'm going to draw some lines on here. This is like the rough pattern that I think I'm going to go for. The way that I figured this pattern out is I looked at what did I want in each panel. So I wanted the roses in this panel. I wanted this tree in this panel, you know, so that's kind of how I figured it out. Okay, so the way that you're going to do this is I use this as a ruler because this is how wide I want my separations to be in between each of my blocks. Okay, so what I'm going to do is look at this here, and I'm going to pick a spot, and it's not going to look exactly the same as my other one, because I'm just going to guesstimate here where I think I want this. Okay. All right, and then I'm just going to draw a line here. And then I'm going to draw a line on the other side so that I have a approximately 1/4 inch like separator between my panels. Okay, and then I want another one here, and I want it to be about here because I want it to like encompass my flowers there. I have that there. I'm going to put this here and draw this one here. Okay, and then I want to have, okay, so that one there, so I want this to be closer to this edge than that one is. So maybe about there. My thumb just got in the way. Okay, turn it around. Do the other side. It does not have to be exact because you're going to put this back together like a puzzle. So it kind of just, it'll figure itself out. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's do one in this top corner. That is not straight. Okay, we're going to retry that one. Okay, so let's try this one again. Okay. All right, and then I need one in the middle. I could also go like low if I wanted, or high, or I could do it twice, or I could make these different. I'm gonna make this one right across the middle because I think that, like, I want to write in my little margins, or whatever you want to call these things. So I want to have one that's pretty long in the middle. Oh my goodness, I'm having a little bit of a problem with making lines that are straight here. It's probably because I'm using a piece of paper as my ruler, right? Okay. Let's try this again. Okay. Alright, so I have a totally different arrangement, it looks like, than I did last time. Okay, so I'm just looking to see what I have. Okay. Alright. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to cut this out. Okay, so I'm going to start here, and I'm going to cut this corner out first, and then this one. And you could use your paper cutter if you want. I'm not good at, like, that whole situation where you get to the corner. And I don't want to overcut this. Okay, so then I'm going to go over here and cut it here. And I'm just going to cut it here. And I'm going to cut it here. Whoops. Get it about there. Okay. And then this one. I'm also going to share with you what, and I thought of an easier way to do this, but like I want to do it this way because this is the way I want to do it, you know. But I will show you an easier way to do this too. That involves no cutting at all. Like you could just do it right in your file. up to this one here. And then I'm just going to go right across. Okay, so when you put this back on, the fact that it's in one piece will help it go back on a little bit easier. Okay, so I'm going to put these are my puzzle pieces. I'm going to put those over there. Okay. And I'm going to grab my scrap paper here. And my paint. And I'm going to paint all of this like solid green. Okay. So that I have a good like canvas to write on. It should be like, this is like a matte paint. It dried pretty quickly. So but basically I just want to get even coverage. I want it to be all uniform. If you like this better, you could just leave it like that and write on it. I wrote like a bunch of like forest things on mine. I'll read them off to you so you can hear what I picked. But I also, I asked ChatGPT like, to give me some like forest quotes. And I think it made up an Emily Dickinson poem, like, because it's not one of her poems, but it was pretty good. So I took it and I'm going to use it in my thing, but it's definitely not an Emily Dickinson poem. ChatGPT just knows I love Emily Dickinson. I think it was trying to make me happy. Okay, so there's that. And I'm just going to flip it over and do the other one. This paint does really look like the color of ivy. Okay, I think I mostly have that. Let me just take a quick look at it. I think it looks pretty good. I don't want it to be perfect. I just want it to be green. All right, so I'm going to put this over here, oops, to dry. And then I'm going to go in and do the page edges. So I kind of have you might want to go, I don't want to do that because I'm going to need a different scrap paper, I think. Okay, so you could definitely go in with a paintbrush if you want on this part. This is the part where I hope I'm going to be able to see my pencil lines through this paint because I need to go over the pencil lines, but you know, even if I can't see my pencil lines through the paint, I should be able to guesstimate it based on this. Okay, so I just dried that with the heat tool just so that I could be sure that it was, you know, all completely dry. Okay, so now what I want to do is go in and put my panels back on. And so I'm going to kind of work this way. I'm going to put my panels in the corner here. Then I can start to line up my middle piece. When I did this, like the first time, I did it a little bit differently because I had like, you know how your plans change as, like, you know, a project, like, will morph kind of a little bit when you're working on it. So, like, yeah, so I changed things around a little bit. Okay, so I think this is this side here, this is this one here. Okay, and then these are my two ones for right here. Okay, so let's do some gluing here. I think I'm like this, right? I almost did that. It'd be crazy to glue that on wrong. Okay. Okay, so as long as I get these, like, kind of, you get this first one placed, you're in, you know, you're in, like, good business for the rest of it. Okay, so I'm going to glue this first one on here. Yeah, okay. Here's this. I just want to make sure I get it all the way, you know, the whole thing glued. So I'm going to use the glue stick instead of, because I don't want any of the edges coming up, you know. Okay, so I can see my pencil marks, thankfully. I think I might have gone a little bit high on this. So yeah, the great thing about a glue stick. Okay, because then I have this that will help me kind of figure this out as I go through the rest of it, you know what I mean? Because this is going to slowly get all the pieces in. So I'm just going to check this because I want to make sure I have, yeah, okay, that's good. I want to make sure I have a good border at the top. That's the only thing I was really worried about. Like, this was not all one piece when I did it before. This was a separate piece. So I'm going to try to keep it all as one piece right now. We're going to see how that goes. Okay, so I'm going to glue the back. I'm just going to glue these two. And I'm going to glue as I go. Okay, and let's get this guy on. So I'm just going to try to work across here and make sure I got this right. Okay. It's funny. Well, it's like a puzzle, actually. It looks completely different when it's just a little square versus the whole picture. So I'm going to slide that one into there. And then this piece down right here. Okay. All right. So then I have this piece here. This is the fun part, really. And because everything like fits together, and it just like, I don't know, it feels kind of like magic, you know, when you see your idea come out. Okay, I'm going to do this side too. I'm going to do this piece in here, just right up against this one here, which should give me a pretty good placement for that. I'm going to put that right into the crease. I'm trying not to press too hard, you know, just because I don't want to damage my centerpiece there. Now that the cardstock is going down, it should be like a lot less, like of a problem. Okay, all right, so now I have this one here, and I'm gonna put that one in right here. Okay, there. I'm gonna glue one side of this, I think, first, and then the other side. There we go. Because I still have to get, I did put glue on the back of this one, but okay. I still have to get these pieces in the right. I just want to make sure I get everything in the right way here. I feel like I'm kind of close to the bottom here. If you use a lot of glue on the glue stick, it's much easier to reposition it. Okay. There we go. I feel like I'm angling down here, but that's okay. I'm gonna just... Okay, so now this is probably the like harder part, because I'm basically working across from the other side for all my placement. I do feel like this needs to go here, like so. Okay, that fits perfect. All right, I'm just gonna put a bunch of glue down here. I'm gonna put glue down for that piece too. Okay, so I'm going to go for this one here. And maybe put a little bit on the back of this too, because it doesn't seem to be sticking down. Okay, there's that one. There's this one. Okay, so we got those. Okay, everything's fitting together, so it's looking pretty good. I'm going to put it on the little in-between pieces. I don't know what we would call these. Okay. Whatever you call the stuff that goes in between window panes, right? Okay. So now I have this piece here. I definitely gave myself a bigger border at the top than I did at the bottom. But you know. Okay, so this gets glue all over it. And goes right into this spot. Yikes. Okay. This goes into this spot. And then we have our last piece. Okay, so which... I'm going to slide that right up against that one. That one right up against that one. And then press down here. Alright, considering I put this in a lumpy book, I'm pretty excited about how it turned out. Okay, alright, looking good. Okay, so now I have a few ideas on what to do next. One thing I wanted to mention is if you don't want to go through this whole rigmarole and you already have this in your book, what you could do is draw your lines on the front of the paper and then just either paint them or color them in with marker, and you could, I think you could achieve the same effect. You just won't have the texture of the different windows, but you'll still have the same look, right? And I'm sure you're asking yourself, why did you not do it like that? But you know what? Like, this is how, like, you know, it's just how I wanted to do it. So it really has nothing to do with anything. Okay, so I have some things that I pulled out that I kind of want to use. Let's see here. Unfortunately, I did cut this. I cut this to fit the other grid because that's the one I was making at the time. So I'm gonna have to probably recut some of mine. But what I want to do is add on some like embellishments and stuff to the different squares so that, I don't know, I just want to have like a little bit of a variation here. Like I don't, like, I kind of want to put this bird up here, I think. You know, so I have different little pieces and stuff to like put on here. I did pull some butterflies out of my ephemera stash. Just to see if I could get some ones. And then I think I have one of these is from this, from the kit that was out the other day with all the butterflies and stuff in it. And I pulled out a few other things that were like dark. That I thought maybe I could put on here too. I have that piece of rickrack still that I haven't managed to like get rid of. But I just thought it would be fun to put like little embellishments into each of the windows. You know what I mean? I might go with the books on this one, which fits better. Instead, what I wanted to do is turn these into like a little pocket. It's to be a very little pocket, but I don't see a problem with that. Okay, so let me see here. This is going to be the me fussing around part. I'm just looking for a pencil. So we'll just cut that right there. And I'm just going to grab my anchor. I took like a few minutes today and cleaned my desk off, and wow, that made me feel so much better. Like, I don't know, it was, I mean, like usually I only make a couple videos, like the most I make a week is 2 videos, right? The most. And like, so every day, like you would not believe the stuff that was built up on my desk. Okay, now this one. I don't know if I'm actually going to put anything in this pocket, but I just thought it'd be nice to have the option, you know. And I love the idea of a forest library, no matter how impractical it is, you know. Like, I just really love the idea of it. So that's why my books are going on here. Okay, and I have lace, which I think I'm going to put across the bottom of this one. And for the sake of this, I don't know what I'm going to do, actually. My edge is a little bit crooked right there. But, you know, like, I guess I can't really. Okay, so I think I'll cut this piece of lace and we can glue that on there. Actually, this is my... Okay, I'm going to put that on like right there. Okay. Just right across the bottom. I think my this side is a little bit lumpier because of the bumps on the other side. Overall though, like I think like this, I'm gonna love going through this journal. I mean, I love going through my other one too, but like I think this is gonna be a really fun flip through of this one, because it's a little bit more organized than my last one. Like I was more methodical about my planning, and I thought about like what I wanted, like, and I did more projects that were multi-page than I did last time, which I think like overall I like how that works out. So I think I'm gonna definitely do that going forward. Should I cut this just a little bit so it's a little bit smaller? Okay, I think we can do that. Let me just grab some glue here. So this is going to go in this square. And this one going here. And I'm thinking for this one here in particular, washi tape maybe. Like I have this one that I love with the moths on it. And I also have a version of this, another like with the butterflies, and it's blue and it's green. So I think it might look really good here. Okay, I also have my butterflies. Now this is definitely from the ephemera stash. I don't know, how do we feel about crossing boundaries? I also have my really giant butterfly, but I just don't think it matches this spread. I don't know. It looks better now that this and this are on here. I will say that. So I got to make some hard calls here. I do like the fact that this is in the crease a lot. What do you guys, oh man, I wish I could do like a poll, huh? I don't know, I think I might be able to live with this. And I think I could just put it right here in between the two spreads, you know? Let me just take a quick, I don't know if there's like, I could probably try here to make things, that's not glued down right. More like, it's this color, you know, that we need to get in there so that it looks like it's a cohesive whole. Okay, so hold on one second. Let me look for that other washi tape and see if that will help at all. This might not. It might. I think it might be too much. Okay, so let's try the brown one instead. So if I do put this butterfly across the middle, though, I can't write across the middle, which I'm not sure how I feel about that. Okay. Oh, this is great. Great. Okay, so I think what I need, okay, so what I could do, I could still write across the middle and only glue the butterfly in the middle. So that's like a thought. And also, I think I might stamp something behind here. So I'm going to grab a stamp. Okay, so I have this one. This is Tiny Toadstools, which is CMS 377. And it has these fantastic little texture bits down here. Okay, so I'm going to grab all of those off of there. I'm not actually going to stamp any mushrooms, even though I think it would be great. I love this thing. I think that's like, it might be what I need on here. Like, just to have something in the background, you know? I think that might, this one go this way. Be a little bit closer to the edge here. Okay, why am I torturing myself with the stamp block, right? Okay. I think I'm gonna go with ground espresso here. We can test the color out really quick. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, that's just a little mint tape so that I don't get anywhere I don't want to get it. Okay, that's what I get for doing it on the side. I should have known that was going to happen. Okay, so we are going to do a collage job on here instead, which is my go-to situation for this type of a situation. That is perfect for right there. It's like it knew it was going to be a mess up. And okay, so I'm going to put this on here because I messed it up right there. But it's like this was made for the job. So I'm not too worried about that. And then I want to put this on top of everything. It's too bad that stamp doesn't stick out just a tiny bit more. Maybe, I don't know if I should put text down. I don't want to cover it up too much. Oh, you know what I could put there though? Let's put some textile situation there. I'm gonna pull this apart to get mostly the thread out of it. I love putting like my butterflies in like a little nest of thread. That's actually quite a bit of thread. I didn't think it was going to be quite that much. Okay, so hold on a second. I'm going to figure out how to do this. I need a piece of paper. I just don't want it to be completely like white against this. Okay. See about putting this in here. Watch me bulk up the middle of my signature even more. Okay, I just kind of want it to be round-ish, oval-ish. I want it to be pulled out wider. What I'm thinking is I am thinking about only gluing it in the middle. I probably have to glue the thread a little bit more than just the butterfly. So you could pick the butterfly's wings up if you wanted to. Put that down a little. And you can see that little number there. Okay, I think this is going to be a successful job here. I have this sari silk right here. I'm not sure what I can, like, I've never really pulled much off of it, like in terms of thread. Actually, no, let's go with the less is more theory here. I'm going to move this down just slightly. Okay. All right, let me get some glue here. I think we're going to start I'm going to start by gluing in the center here, and then I'll glue out from there, but I think I'm going to try to keep the butterfly only in the middle. But I should be able to pull the strands out the way that I want them, or at least in a semblance of the way that I want them, even after the butterfly is glued down. Yikes. Okay, we're going to put this on just the butterfly spine, if the butterfly has a spine. Okay. This is taking longer than I thought it would. I thought it was going to be so organized tonight. Okay, this is glued to my finger. I just want to be able to see this red number over the top of it there. I'm just going to wait while this sets for a second. And the beauty of my current situation is that I can make adjustments underneath the butterfly if I need to. Because the wings aren't glued down. What I could do, though, maybe I will do, should I glue the thread to the back of the butterfly instead? This is great because these, like, get lift off the page, and because it's the middle of the signature, it'll maintain. You know what I mean? Like when you open the signature, it should look like this. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so I think what I will do, though, is I want to write on this. So my quotes, let's see what I want to put on here. I have them written on here, so. Okay. Okay, so I have, this one here is the forest is the pillow that soothes the homesick eye. Okay. Okay. Okay, it whispers ancient Lullabies. Beneath a Velvet Sky. Okay, that is the poem I'm pretty sure ChatGPT made up and then was like, this is sort of like Emily Dickinson. So, yeah, I don't know where it got it from. It doesn't exist. I checked. So, okay, so now let's write some other ones here. There are, let's see here. Okay, so this is a Thoreau quote. This is, I took a walk in the woods and came out taller than the trees. So let's go down here. I took a walk in the woods and came out taller than, I'll go this way, the trees. Okay, and then I have the John Muir quote on here too, the one, wait, it's the one where, oh, and into the forest I go to lose my mind and find my soul. I'm gonna go here, into the forest I go to lose my and find my soul. I kind of enjoy the haphazard nature of it all. I know it's a little bit crazy because the words are going all over the place, but that's kind of like what I was hoping for. Okay, so okay, this is Ursula K. Le Guin. In the forest, time ceases. The trees do not count the hours. Okay, so I think we're gonna go here. Oops. That's in the forest, the time ceases. The trees do not count the hours. Okay. Oops. That could be a little clearer. Okay. Now I have a couple of spots left, like right here and right here, but I'm not, I need very short phrases for that. So I might have to look some up because those are all the ones that I wrote down to put on here. So, I might need to look some up to fill those spots in so that it doesn't look weird that there's nothing written there and right there. Okay, so I don't really, I'm trying to think. I don't know if I want to, how much more I want to add to this. I feel like I've kind of reached my, like, I don't want to have too much on here so that you can't see the original picture, you know? This is good because it was just sky right here. But I think if I put anything else on here, it might just end up obscuring the actual, you know, what's on there. I have one die cut left from the other night. But I think that just looks sad. If anything. I guess I could cut some more and we could put them in that pocket there. I did have my little doily here, and I do have a stamp. Okay, here's what I think, is I think I should leave it alone. Okay? I think that this was my original vision. I will find 2 short things I can put here and here. I'm going to need the internet's help probably for that, or at least my phone. But I also think that there's still 11 more prompts to go. And there might be an opportunity in the future to add something in from another prompt onto this page. Possibly down here. I was going to put something up here, but I'm going to write up here, so I don't want to actually do that. So I'm going to keep my eye out to see if there's anything else that I need to add right here. I may find a poem or a quote or something like that I want to put on here. So I'm going to leave it for right now and call this finished. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you probably went the easy way and just used marker or paint to make these lines instead of cutting the whole thing up. But I think in the end, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you haven't already. And I will see you guys tomorrow. And the prompt for tomorrow is movement. So let's see what we come up with for that.